Hello and welcome back to Disc Golf Daily, the podcast that tries to catch you up on all things happening in disc golf in about 8 to 10 minutes. I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and I'm super excited to talk to you about the Krokhol Open, coming to you live from Norway, about 20 kilometers outside of Oslo, Norway there. Super cool course. It definitely landed on my bucket list course right away. There's a reason why it's so highly rated, and so many pros were excited to get there and play it, but also film content. Check out some of the stuff from Ricky. But we'll talk about him more. We had a lot of drama leading up to the event. We had some hot players on the FPO side. We had Kristen Tatar returning back in action. First time in action since April, I believe. Had to go back home from the U.S., and then I had that unfortunate accident at her home, hurting herself, and now she is back on tour, and we were excited to see that, of course. So let's get right into the action. Going into round 3, we had a tie atop the FPO, if you will, where Kristen Tatar, Silver Saarinen, Annika Kristianstein, and Katie Tate were your top 4, your lead card going into round 3. What's going to happen? What was going to happen? Was Silva going to continue her hot streak? Was Kristen going to come back with authority? Was Annika or Katie taking a big jump and coming after them? Going up a few spots. Just for reference, Kristen and Silva were at -10, and Annika was at -6, and Katie Tate was at -4 going into that final round. There was a lot of excitement on the course. There was some weather. Yeah, it was wet. It was really wet. Made for tough viewing for those of you that got up real early and watched on the East Coast, or maybe you woke up to it for breakfast on the West Coast, or you were like me and just stayed off social media, waited for the MPO to finish, and then watched the FPO. But it was always cool to see the whole event be done early, because then we got to check the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings as well, but we'll get to those in a little bit. So beginning round 3, we had a big swing right away. On the 3rd hole, Kristen bogeyed, and then on the 4th hole, Silva took the birdie, so therefore Silva was up 2 after 4. Kristen comes back ripping off a turkey, ending up getting 5 of the next 6 holes, and unfortunately Silva Saarinen had found the bogey monster on the last couple holes coming down the stretch, bogeying 4 of the final 6 holes, resulting in Kristen coming back from injury with authority, averaging just under 1,000 rated. That's not official yet, but I think it's going to come in at about 996, and that's pretty fun for the fan coming in to this. It also moved a lot around with the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings as well, but Kristen becomes the second winningest FPO ever, according to PGA Stats X handle today. She wins her 4th event of the year, and that's with taking obviously a big chunk off with some injury there. On the FPO side, we did see some names we don't necessarily see, and names I'm going to probably mispronounce, so I apologize. Shoot pretty high over their rating, starting with Matilda Ringbaum, who shot close to 40 points over her rating, snagging a top 10 finish at Krokhol. Annalie Torgles Monesty shot 36 points over her rating to snag a podium finish in 3rd, and Katrina Stallesen Bjorkis shot 35 points over her rating to secure a top 10 finish at 8th. Of course, with that positive, we have the negative as well. Yang to the yang on this one. Kari Taku Vepker Jan, I looked up how to say that one, and Retina Makinen, all were your 3 highest rated players to not cash on the FPO side. In general, the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings did mix up a little bit. If you're unfamiliar, Missy, Owen, and Holland were your top 3 going into the week. They, however, did not play in this event. So we had some familiar names move up a little bit. Evelina stayed at 4th as well, but Ella Hansen jumped up, and Kristen Tatar jumped up. They both shot good, obviously. Kristen won. She got 100 points for this victory. Ella Hansen tied 6th, so she got 58.5. So your top 5 now are Missy, Owen, Holland, Evelina, and Ella, with Kristen Tatar just lurking outside a mere, quick math, 35 points below Ella. Natalie Ryan and Rebecca Cox stayed idle, and Henna Bloomrose stayed idle as well. But Heidi Liney jumps up 66 points, added to her score, which brings her into the top 10. And look out, but Likey and Silva did well as well, adding to their jump. It's going to be really interesting to see how those standings finish up. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the standings, maybe we haven't talked about this enough, but players are going to take 10 out of the 20 Disc Golf Pro Tour events. Those are Disc Golf Pro Tour or Disc Golf Pro Tour Plus events. And then on the FPO side, they do have the opportunity with a couple more majors, but we're only going to take 2 of them. So they have 4 majors, but we're only going to take standings for 2 again for the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. And then if they qualify, they do get to keep 2 of their Disc Golf Pro Tour playoff points as well. So that's how they get the score there. Pretty interesting stuff there. On the MPO side, we saw some hot names coming in, like our man Anthony Barella, who just won last week. We had players like Joseph Anderson, Ricky Wysocki, Paul Macbeth had already been over here for a little bit in Europe playing. And right away, we saw Ricky come out, shoot a great round, minus 13, I believe, in the first round. Yep, clearing Gannon Burr by 4, and Bradley Williams, Eagle McMahon, Vinyl Makula, Morton Brenna, Casey White, and Joseph Anderson all at minus 8 in third. After day 2, Ricky Wysocki was at minus 25, a 7-stroke lead over Jakob Simmerad and Vinyl Makula, who were at minus 18, and Joey Buckets, aka Joey Anderson, at minus 17, rounded off your lead card. The rain wasn't as strong for the MPO as it was for the FPO, but those tee pads were obviously a little slick as well. We saw Jakob starting off hot, getting 5 of the first 8, while Ricky only got 3 of the first 8. Ricky actually only got 3 of the first 13. So at one point, they were only 2 or 3 strokes apart. Ricky, however, turned on the Raptor legs at the end and snagged himself 5 birdies in a row to finish in first place. Congrats to Ricky. Jakob Sumerad came in second. Vinyl Makula came in third. Nicholas Antila came in fourth, tying Joey Buckets as well. That's going to shake up your Pro Tour standings a little bit as well. According to Statmando's Twitter, thanks Statmando for pumping out some great stuff, MPO players to have multiple bogey-free major and elite tournaments in the last 4 years. It's Ricky. He's done it 3 times, I believe. Ricky Wysocki goes bogey-free for the second time this year, and also, went bogey-free, tying second place at Beaver State Fling this year, and then bogey-free at the 2021 played against Sports Jonesboro Open, and he had a 4-stroke victory in that one. So congrats to Ricky. Speaking of some congrats, Jake Wolf, who's rated 997 or 999, roughly, shot 45 points over his rating. Jakob Sumerov shot 39 points over his rating, and Vinyl Makula shot 34 points over his rating. Side note, Ricky shot 32 points over his rating, roughly, to win this weekend, making it the 4th, I believe I heard on the broadcast, highest rated round ever, or highest rated tournament ever, so congrats to Ricky. Unfortunately, there is the yin with the yang. We had some Americans who did not score well out there. The higher rated players with Joel Freeman, Matt Bell, and Chandler Kramer all missed cash. We did say we'd check in on the MPO side of the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings, and Ricky jumps up with this win and gets within 45 points of Gannon, who had a clear lead, a big old lead. Gannon only got 62 points this weekend, I believe. Let's see, let's check that. Sorry, Gannon only got 54 points this weekend, and Ricky got the full 100, so that closed the gap by 45 points. Nicholas Antila jumps up, well, he's in third still and padding those stats, getting himself 66.5 points. Anthony Barella got 54 points and leaves himself in fourth. And then there's about an 80-point drop to Calvin Heimberg, who did not play in this event But we have a new person in 6. Kyle Klein jumps Ezra Robinson, who did not play in this event, and gets up to 6th place. And Joey Buckets, who did play in this event, jumps 66 points and gets himself into the top 10 of the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. Congrats to him. When we look at the board score for the event, you just saw my hand go on the screen because I changed tabs like that. Wasn't that exciting for those of you watching? When we look at the actual scores, we saw some good spread, some good excitement, if you will. Hole 1 and hole 11 on the MPO side didn't bring us a lot of differential, but it was pretty exciting. We look at hole 5, where close to 50% of the people birdied it over the weekend, and then 15 or so percent of the people bogeyed it, so there's a good spread there. Hole 8 gave us a variety of bogeys, double bogeys, and a little bit of pars, and even smaller amount of birdies. So that was a cool one to look at. On the FPO side, I don't think we had too many birdies on the first hole at all. Going back to that, we had one in the first round. Congrats to, oh my goodness, Maria Elde Christian Tatar. I hope I was close, at least for her sake. That was the only birdie recorded on hole 1 for the weekend. Kind of interesting starting hole, teeing off from under the pavilion for the MPO players. Overall, like I said, it's a bucket list course for me now. I'm super excited for it. Love the different terrain going through. If you haven't seen the behind the scenes Macbeth Goes to Europe stuff on Disc Golf Network and Jomez, go back and look from him coming to this event last year. That you learned a little bit of history about the course and how it got put in. Tons of volunteer work from everybody over there. They are a true, if you will, example for all of us over here that have the opportunity to volunteer within our disc golf community. So went a little long today, made it to 11, 12-ish minutes, I'm not sure. But either way, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. Remember that we are on social media. We're on X, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you can give us a like or a subscribe or a follow, you can see me do this on YouTube as well on Monday mornings. So if that's more your thing, take a look. Hi, I'm waving to you right now. We've got an AOL email. That's discgolfdaily@aol.com if you have any comments, concerns, questions, or a story for us to do. And if you haven't checked out Seth Fenley's recap a couple days ago with Terry Miller and Johnny V from Smashbox, learning a little bit more about how coverage started on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Highly suggest that. Check it out. It was a good listen for sure. Until next time, I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and keep it in the fairway.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really does help us grow.